Top of the Tower, the Chris Evans Breakfast Show, live with the National Lottery. And also, it seems like some extra sunshine has just entered the studio, don't you think, Vassos?
Our next guest is a BAFTA-winning actor and writer who lives in a nice house in the Cotswolds with her family and a pair of disembodied legs.
Yeah!
Her new book, Hexy Bitch, Tales from My Life, The Afterlife and Beyond is out tomorrow. And who makes a crazy day super? It's Daisy May Cooper!
I want that written on my headstone.
Baba's in as well.
Oh, yeah, he's in. No, he's being sweet today, but he was awful last night.
It's his job to be awful. He's only 4 months old.
Yeah, I mean, he kept being sick on me and then laughing about it.
Yeah, but that's what babies do. You know that. They've been in it for years.
What, being vindictive?
Yeah, and all that stuff. Well, what a book. I mean, I was given this book, Daisy. Good morning, by the way. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, my love.
I was given this book on Monday. So I'm like, Daisy May Cooper. It's got a picture of you on the front. Didn't really sort of study the photo more as much as I should have done. Then I read Hexy Bitch. Then I read Tales from My Life. And then I put it in my backpack, right?
Yeah.
So all I know is it's Hexy Bitch. It's a funny title because you're a funny person. And Tales from My Life. Oh, it's an autobiography. Then I start reading going, no, it's not. And then I read the rest of it. Oh, Tales from My Life, The Afterlife and Beyond. And it's a book about the paranormal.
It certainly is.
It's brilliant.
Oh, you're so lovely.
It's so great.
Thank you, darling.
It's easy for people to call people that write kind of books like this out, but you call people who take the paranormal a bit too far, including your mum. This is great. I love this here. I do reckon though that mum was pushing it with the paranormal when she said that whenever she heard the song "Take My Breath Away" by Berlin, that it was my Auntie Alison trying to say hello.
Yeah.
So even you know when to draw the line.
Oh gosh, especially because it was like number one at the time that you
couldn't get away from it. It couldn't all have been about your auntie. What was her name? Auntie
gosh.
Alison?
But, so my mum lost her sister when she was 30 in a car accident. And I think she was so desperate to kind of get validation that that she was on the other side and that there was a heaven and she hadn't just kind of lost her forever. So she would drag me to these terrible kind of back room at pub psychics, most of which had toupees and like lots of gold chains. Yeah. And everything that they said was so vague. And it was just like, do you know someone who's got a budget or a caravan?
That was a big one, wasn't it? Caravan was in there.
And it was just heartbreaking to see my mum kind of get her heart broken over and over again by these kind of con artists. And it made me, I remembered that there used to be raffles at these things as well, where like the main prize was a Hoover bag. I mean, insane. Talk to the dead and win some Hoover bags. Anyway, I kind of lost faith in there being something else. And it wasn't, I suppose, until the last few years that I've had paranormal experiences that I can't deny it. This exists, and I've tried to debunk it.
And if it exists in your mind, it exists anyway, because, what's imagined is... Einstein said imagination is more important than intellect and intelligence. And we are the stories we tell ourselves. And also, the three things we're given that other species don't have, we talk about it a lot: linguistics on the show, memory, and imagination. It's a superpower. Now, are we imagining this? Are you in my dream? Or I'm in your dream? Are we co-creating this dream? Why wouldn't ghosts exist? Now, there is zero proof, but there's loads of evidence. And that's where we're on the golden bridge between those two bookends.
Yeah, I mean, having witnessed it myself, it absolutely exists. And I do feel like in the next 10 years, maybe science will catch up and we'll be able to say, this is a scientific fact. There are Victorian ghosts walking around.
Yeah, now can I just talk about that word Victorian?
Yes.
Because other than I, me, and the word ghost, Victorian pops up a lot. It is the most... And I talked to Felix, who's producing the show today. He said, I saw, Victorian lady. A lot of Victorian stuff going on here, right? Charles Dickens, Christmas Carol, Scrooge. That gets us to there. Pre-Victorian...
Oh, do you know what? I had somebody contact me saying they saw a ghost of a dinosaur.
Yeah, well, you go around the world, don't you? Mesopotamia and Egypt.
Yeah.
So that's what's great about the book, because it is your take on ghosts and paranormal and seeing ghosts, but then you dive into it, don't you?
Well, I'd like to think so. I try and unpick it. I suppose I'm just trying to figure it out in my own mind, because it's like... this veil's been lifted, and I can't live my life the same now. I'm like, what? Well, if that exists, what else exists? You know, does the Loch Ness Monster exist? I've got no idea.
Well, that's what we said earlier. You turn left, you end up with the Loch Ness Monster. You turn right, you end up with acupuncture. Because there's no proof that exists either, but I know that definitely works.
Yeah.
But apparently science can't prove love. Science can't prove hope. But we've all been in love. We've all felt love. We've all felt love. We've all felt hate. You know, it can register in sort of brain scans, but it can't really be proven. So that, I mean, when you frame it like that, anything is possible.
Oh, absolutely. Wasn't it Einstein that said energy can't, you know, be destroyed? It has to change form. And
you have that in there, don't you?
Yeah.
Energy can't disappear. It can't be added to, but it can be converted from one vibe to another.
Yeah. And so where does it go? I have no idea.
So you have bought some stuff, some ghost hunting stuff. You've invested in this kind of stuff, these tools.
God,
mirrors are quite important. Why are mirrors important?
I think it's meant to represent kind of like the portal to the other side. So, so there's mirrors. I mean, there's lots of very dodgy ghost equipment.
What kind of stuff have you bought?
Oh, God, I've been absolutely conned.
You bought things with antennas. She's bought things with antennas.
I have bought things. I spent £200 on basically what is a flashing red LED light.
If it looked like it could have been in Ghostbusters, you're buying it.
Oh, 1,000%. Absolutely. But the thing is, all this stuff, all this ghost equipment is made to be temperamental so that you know, sometimes it will go off. But it's so random. You know, you could fart and it will go off. It's like... Whether it picks up ghosts, I don't think it does. But I bought it anyway.
Tell us about the because you went to see various mediums. You've had various experiences with different people, but you made a few phone calls to a few people, and this is proper sort of journalistic reporting going on here. Who did you call? What did they tell you? These online sort of mediums and...
Oh, God. I mean, there's so many rubbish ones out there. I remember I phoned one and it said, you know, if you want to meet the love of your life, you've got to join a chess club. And I thought, what? Why?
And what was the advert for that? Was it paranormal here?
Oh, yeah, it was like
us,
mystic, psychic, you know. So that, I mean, you get rubbish ones like that, but then you get ones that I stumbled upon when I was about 15, was doing like a school project with my friend Kaya. And we knocked on this woman's house to do sort of like an interview on a dictaphone. And she was a psychic, and she told me that one day I'd be a, you know, very famous actress. Well, very famous actress. And she told my friend Kaya that the person, she would get married twice, and the person, her second husband, she already knew, which is absolutely true. She got married to this guy that she had a huge crush on in our year, Dan Miles, who was her second husband. I mean, it's just those sort of things.
Yeah, and there's a whole section on Ouija boards as well.
Oh, God, yeah.
Now, the thing about Ouija boards is they do work.
Do you think?
They do. Well, I think they do.
I mean, when I was younger, I always used to kind of just push it, really.
But did you? Okay, then in that case, they don't work, because that's what I did. But I felt like... all right. I don't know. I mean... But what was pushing you to push it?
Because there would be like a boy that I fancied there, and I would sort of put that, you know, the spirits want you to kiss Daisy May Cooper.
Future successful actress, already had that confirmed by other mystics.
Oh gosh, but then I don't discount, you know, people that have used them and have, you know, had experiences. And, you know, for example, like my partner will not. I've got one down in the living room, and I've said, come on, let's give it a go. You know, let's contact Elvis, and he absolutely will not touch it. Yeah, will not touch it.
Any specific reasons forthcoming for that?
I mean, I think he's an Elvis fan.
But there's all that thing about if you say the Lord's Prayer backwards in the mirror and all that stuff, and you just won't do it as a kid just in case terrible things happen.
Yeah, like what's the point? If it's going to be bad, you know, bring something a bit bad. But then I don't know. I'm trying to unpick all this stuff. But, I mean, the stories people are sending, it's, you know, even this morning, like phone calls, and I got so many emails, and you have to sit back and you have to think, right, if 70% of these stories are made up, then 30% of these stories people truly believe that they've seen something. That's still a staggering amount, you know?
It is a staggering amount, but correlation does not equal causation. And what is it? Facts or proof is not the plural of storytelling. What's it called? When you have evidence, but it's your own evidence. Welcome to Middle Age Radio. Begins with A.
Was it?
Story that you experience.
Not circumstantial.
No, none of those things. Go on, Felix. What? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Factual is not the plural of anecdotal. Because what you're saying there is the more anecdotals you get, there must be some truth in it, but they could all just be stories. But I know,
Right,
however,
yeah,
having said
yeah.
that, I do know what you mean, and we
Yeah.
just whispered it on the radio today. We got loads of WhatsApps going, seen a ghost, seen a ghost, seen a ghost, seen a ghost, seen a bit of a ghost. You saw your first ghost was just the legs.
Oh, yeah.
Just the legs, everyone. Still looking for the rest of the ghost. But ghosts can do that. They can do that.
But bizarre. I mean, it was so bizarre.
Yeah.
I was just leaden on the bed with my son watching Paw Patrol about like late afternoon, and I heard this kind of, running on the landing. I just assumed it was my daughter, and then it was literally just a solid pair of children's legs. And then it just kind of, like the rest, it was like, blurring it out, like somebody photoshopped the rest of it out.
Yeah.
And it literally, in a matter of seconds, it's actually scarier thinking back to it than it was at the time. It was just really kind of underwhelming, actually, which is so weird.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because when things are presented to you in the cold light of day, and you're not in a haunted house, and you're not with other ghost hunters, you're not trying to make a documentary about it on the telly, you're just watching Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That is, and I think, a lot of these ghost shows have kind of muddied the water a bit, because I think...
They're unhelpful.
They are unhelpful. I think they just think, oh, God, we've got to show something. Let's just sort of make it a bit exciting.
All right, and once again, Daisy's book, Daisy May Cooper here, talking about Hexy Bitch, Tales from My Life, the Afterlife and Beyond. It's really funny. It's completely in Daisy's voice. But she does do some heavy lifting. So you also go to sort of almost as guaranteed as a ghost venue can get, don't you? You go to ghost, well-known ghost spots. Where have you been? What have you seen?
I went to Shepton Mallet Prison to do a ghost hunt, which was, it was slightly
it a Victorian
hilarious.
prison? Was it a Victorian prison? Yes, it was.
Oh, God. They're so miserable, the Victorians, aren't they? Why are they just hanging around all the time? Just get over it.
Follow my leader, wasn't it? I mean, she wore black all the time. They did what it said on her tin. So what did you witness there?
What was funny was you get that group hysteria thing where lots of people are egging each other on. Yeah. We had to sort of stand round in a circle. And we were, told, if you feel or experience anything, let us. If you experience anything, say it out loud. And this one bloke said, "Yeah, I'm feeling something around my bum." And then somebody turned around and, with no hint of irony or trying to be funny, just said, "Yeah, well, we are in a male prison." Just insane. Just insane.
Okay, that's too quick, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's hysteria, there's mysteria.
Oh, God. It was just, I think a lot of people on those things. And also, if I was a ghost, I don't want 30 people just coming around with their bad gadgets and, waking me up and... No.
What do you think we are? A tourist attraction? We're ghosts, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
And we're serious about it.
Yeah. At least pay us, if we're going to entertain you lot.
Well, it's a brilliant book, Daisy. What have you learned from writing it, looking back on it? I mean, obviously a book doesn't just land fully formed. You have to edit it. You have to go through it again. Yeah. And it really moves along. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Joe. The conclusion for me is there absolutely is something. What it is to know.
She's sitting there in a Star Wars t-shirt, and the profound statement we come out with after this long-form, in-depth conversation is, it proves there's something. And we'll take something over nothing. And by the way, you can't have something without nothing, and you can't have nothing without something. Because what's the sound of one hand clapping?
Yes. Oh, there we go.
There you go. It's great to see you, Daisy.
Oh, thank you
Great
so
book.
much.
It's out tomorrow, isn't it? Thursday. Daisy May Cooper, Hexy Bitch, Tales from My Life, the Afterlife, and Beyond.
You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Virgin Radio.